Righto, item 13. Discretionary Response Fund. Joshua, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Can you put your mic on, Josh?
Tēnā koutou katoa councillors. By way of quick introduction, I'm Joshua Warden, Acting Team Lead of Community Funding. In front of you we have 5 applications that have been made by community organisations for the Metropolitan Discretionary Response Grant, and I have here with me some technical advisors to answer any questions that you may have around the specific applications. Just by way of very short introduction, we know that currently the whole system in the community sector is under a lot of pressure. That's both because of an increased need out in communities as well as other funders restricting their criteria and other funders still reducing the amount of money that they're granting. So this is at the start of our financial year, but yes, there's a lot of pressure coming our way, and that's just foreshadowing that as we take a look at these applications.
Questions?
Is that it?
By way of introduction.
I'm sure
Okay.
there'll be some questions.
There is
Mr. Mayor.
definitely going to be some questions. Councillor Harrison Hunt.
Kia ora. Just wanting to, and don't get nervous, guys. I'm not. But I was wanting to ask about the delivery of opera and outreach projects. And can you talk to me, elaborate a little bit more in the outreach projects that they do?
Kia ora. Jamie Hanson, Community Arts Advisor. The New Zealand Opera will be delivering one community outreach program in the coming year. So what that looks like is an open day where invitations go out to schools, to a number of other communities that they're working with. The blind and low vision community, for example, will come in and do a back of house tour. They'll touch costumes and things like that. So that's essentially, it's an open weekend that they'll hold, and it'll be open. They do free workshops for young people, singers, musicians, kind of teach those things, but it goes out to all schools. It's an open day and it's free to public to come along to.
And what kind of schools do they bring in? Usually come?
There's been a bit of a hiatus over COVID with this, so I can't speak to the detail on the schools and the exact sectors that they're going to bring in for this.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers.
No more questions. We'll go into debate. Is there any debate? Yes.
Sorry, we're just trying to clarify the report, unless it hasn't updated. There's a resolution missing, I think.
Just hang on for a second.
Point 5.
Well spotted. No, there is a 5th one.
Here it comes. Okay, is that all right, Sam? Done? Yes. Okay, is there, Yanni, is debate or a question, mate?
Yeah, I understood staff. We're going to talk to the number 5, the staff in a position to give us an update on what's happening with food banks in regards to the city.
I'm wondering, Mr. Chair, if it might be a good idea just to go through them quickly individually and take any questions as we go through. It'd be good to know if there's questions for the other ones before we get to those 2 last ones.
Okay, just before we get going, I'm happy to move it and Councillor McDonald's happy to second it, so carry on. If you do we need to go through them all?
It's really the last 2.
Okay. Really the last 2? All right, happy to take questions for the last 2. Thanks, John.
Right.
They are both mine, so thank you for that. knew that was coming. Councillor.
Do you want to go in order then? Start with the parade, or do you want to?
Might be
okay.
easier if we do that. It'll be easier on me, so I've got things
Yeah,
in order.
just from reading that application, like appreciate that we're giving them funding, and obviously there's been some bad weather which has affected the thing last year. But they seem to be getting into a better place. I'm just wondering if there's anything we can do, accepting that they're already receiving funding from us. If there's anything we can do through our events team and through Christchurch and Z to work with them around the sustainability of the show going forward, because I think, or the parade going forward.
So I spoke to the events team before this. They said they have a briefing with you next month with Christchurch NZ, Venues Otautahi and the events team together to give an overview, and the Christmas parade is within that presentation.
Thank you
Just
very
to
much.
show the wider, how it all fits in.
Right, good as gold. Any other questions on the Santa Parade? No. Right, questions on item 5, please.
Well, given we heard a deputation this morning raising concern around the food banks, just would be good if staff could maybe just give us an update on the work that's being done to ensure that food banks can continue in the city.
Yeah, I'm sure Gary can do that for you.
Sure. So I'd actually like to start with clarification that I'm putting a funding application in front of you, so I need a decision on that. And what happens with the future of the food banks, there is national organisations who are dealing with them. I think it's important to say that they are speaking to them, and one of the major supermarkets is already in correspondence with a few of them. I would love to tell you that I can 100% guarantee that there is an alternative option for food banks. I'm 99.9% sure. I can't give you 100. We spend a lot of time, we've had a lot of feedback from food banks, and really it is you've heard me say before, just the simple equation. And Councillor Johansson brought up yesterday that there is an application into his community board. I think under this model, all of your community boards will have to get applications coming to you. And if we do it on the same rate that's coming to that board to get through to January, you're looking at $400,000 to come to your boards across you to get you through to January, if this model, to deliver this model. I've met with the food bank. I met with them along with another major funder. It is just fundamentally the feedback we've had almost 100%. These groups cannot afford to continue. They cannot afford to pay for this food. My belief is that there is a legal question there that needs to be answered by somebody around donated food and then it being sold. So we have talked to everybody. We have talked to a lot. It would be fair to say the major feedback has been for a lot of food banks that they will close. The community's been great, and there has been some that have been offered donations already to get them through for a while, but that is a month or 2 months. The model just it's 1.5 million that has to be found from somewhere to deliver at the delivery rate at the moment. And within the ecosystem of funding, there isn't 1.5 million.
Thank you, Gary. That answers it very well. So, being there is no debate, I'll put that motion. All those in favour? Against? Thank you. Carried. Thank you.